There is a shrub that survives minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit, the same temperature that kills virtually every fruit-producing plant in North America. And in summer, this shrub produces so many berries, so densely packed along every stem, that the branches turn completely orange under their weight. Each one of those berries contains more vitamin C than 10 oranges. Not 10% more, not double, 10 times more vitamin C per berry than an orange. From a shrub growing in Zone 2 winters that has not been sprayed, watered, or fertilized, and that also fixes its own nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. The plant is called sea buckthorn, scientific name Hippophae rhamnoides, and it is simultaneously one of the most nutritionally extraordinary plants in the world, one of the most cold-hardy fruit shrubs ever studied, and one of the most completely overlooked food plants in all of American horticulture. By the end of this video, sea buckthorn will make complete sense as the most important shrub that most American gardeners have never considered planting. Growing fruit in cold climates is one of the most frustrating challenges in American horticulture. Zone 3, Zone 4, winters that drop to minus 20, minus 30, sometimes minus 40. Apples struggle in the coldest zones. Blueberries have a lower limit. Raspberries die back hard. Tropical and subtropical fruits are simply impossible. The search for genuinely productive fruit plants that thrive rather than merely survive in extreme cold is a real and serious challenge for millions of American gardeners in northern states, Canada, and elevated mountain regions. And sea buckthorn answers that challenge more completely than almost any other fruit plant in existence. Sea buckthorn is cold-hardy to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Zone 2, the absolute limit of survivable cold for most perennial plants in North America. It does not just survive this temperature. It evolved in it. Its native range includes the Siberian steppes, the Tibetan plateau, and the mountain regions of Central Asia, where these temperatures are normal winter events, not exceptional extremes. And while it is withstanding those winters, sea buckthorn is also fixing nitrogen from the atmosphere through a symbiotic relationship with Frankia bacteria in its root nodules. Like legumes, but in a woody shrub, it enriches the soil it grows in, feeds neighboring plants, and builds fertility without any synthetic fertilizer input at any point. Sea buckthorn has been documented in Chinese, Tibetan, and Mongolian traditional medicine for over 1,300 years. The Tang Dynasty medical text Cebu Edian, compiled in the 8th century, described sea buckthorn berry preparations for digestive health, respiratory conditions, and wound healing. Tibetan medicine incorporated sea buckthorn into dozens of traditional formulations. Mongolian nomads used sea buckthorn oil on wounds and burns sustained during campaigns across the steppes. In the 20th century, Soviet sports medicine researchers began studying sea buckthorn systematically. Russian cosmonauts were given sea buckthorn oil as a radioprotective supplement during early space missions. The Soviet military incorporated sea buckthorn preparations into field medicine kits. When an entire military and space program invested research resources into a plant, the scientific interest that followed was substantial and rigorous species. In China today, sea buckthorn is a major commercial crop. Over 1 million acres are planted across northern China. The berries are processed into juices, oils, supplements, skincare products, and foods. The Chinese government has promoted sea buckthorn cultivation as part of reforestation and erosion control programs because the plant's deep root system stabilizes marginal and degraded land more effectively than almost any other planted. In the United States and Canada, sea buckthorn remains almost completely unknown. A handful of specialty growers produce it. A small number of health food stores carry sea buckthorn products. But the plant itself, as a garden shrub, as a productive cold climate fruit source, is virtually invisible in American horticulture. That gap between what sea buckthorn is capable of and how little it is grown in exactly the climates where it would thrive is the central story of this video. Now here is the nutritional profile that makes sea buckthorn genuinely difficult to believe until the laboratory data is seen directly. Vitamin C. Sea buckthorn berries contain between 400 and 900 milligrams of vitamin C per 100 grams of fresh berry. An orange contains approximately 53 milligrams per 100 grams. Sea buckthorn contains 8 to 17 times more vitamin C than orange, not in dried powder or extract. In the fresh berry, this is one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C measured in any food on Earth. Vitamin E. Sea buckthorn contains all 4 tocopherols and all 4 tocotrienols, the complete vitamin E complex. This is extremely unusual. Most foods contain only 1 or 2 forms. The seed oil of sea buckthorn contains some of the highest vitamin E concentrations measured in any plant oil. Carotenoids. The intense orange color of sea buckthorn berries comes from an extraordinary concentration of carotenoids, including beta-carotene, lycopene, zeaxanthin, and others. Sea buckthorn has one of the highest carotenoid concentrations of any fruit. The seed oil is so intensely orange from carotenoid concentration that it stains skin and fabric on contact. Sea buckthorn berry oil, pressed from the pulp, contains a rare fatty acid called palmitoleic acid, omega-7. This fatty acid is found in very few plant sources. It has been studied for its effects on skin health, mucous membrane regeneration, and cardiovascular function. The combination of omega-3, omega-6, omega-7, and omega-9 fatty acids in sea buckthorn oil is essentially unique among plant-derived oils. The published research on sea buckthorn is extensive and spans multiple decades and continents. Studies from Chinese, Russian, Scandinavian, and Indian research institutions have examined sea buckthorn's effects on liver health, cardiovascular markers, skin regeneration, immune function, and antioxidant activity. A 2017 review published in Food Chemistry documented over 200 bioactive compounds identified in various parts of the sea buckthorn plant. The research base is not thin or preliminary. It is deep, international, and consistently impressive. The berries taste intensely tart, almost shockingly so. The flavor is complex, with citrus and tropical notes underneath the acidity. Eaten fresh, they are challenging for most palates because the tartness is so extreme. But processed, the flavor transforms. Sea buckthorn juice, diluted and sweetened slightly, tastes like a tropical citrus blend of extraordinary complexity. Sea buckthorn jam, with sufficient sugar, is among the most vibrantly flavored preserves achievable from a cold climate garden. Sea buckthorn oil from the berries, bright orange and intensely concentrated, is used as a nutritional supplement, added by the drop to smoothies and juices. The seed oil, lighter in color, is widely used in skincare for its remarkable skin-regenerating properties. Sea buckthorn tea, made from dried leaves, provides a milder way to access some of the plant's beneficial compounds without the extreme tartness of the berries. Growing sea buckthorn requires understanding 2 specific things, and once those are understood, the plant is genuinely straightforward. First, sea buckthorn is dioecious. Male and female plants are separate. One male plant pollinates up to 8 female plants. Plant at least 1 male for every 6 to 8 females. Only female plants produce berries. The male is essential for pollination but produces no fruit. When ordering, make sure to get both sexes. Many nurseries sell sea buckthorn in specific male-female ratios for exactly this reason. Second, the thorns are serious. Sea buckthorn stems are heavily armed with sharp thorns. Harvesting requires thick gloves and long sleeves. Many growers harvest by cutting entire fruiting branches, freezing them briefly, and then stripping the frozen berries. The berries separate more easily from frozen stems than fresh ones, and the cold briefly reduces the juice loss from punctured berries. Sea buckthorn grows in full sun, in well-draining soil. It tolerates sandy, poor, and slightly alkaline soils, better than most fruit plants. It does not tolerate waterlogged roots. Space plants 6 to 8 feet apart, as mature shrubs reach 8 to 12 feet. It requires no annual fertilizing because of its nitrogen-fixing root system. It requires no spraying. Pest pressure is minimal. After establishment, sea buckthorn is genuinely one of the lowest maintenance productive shrubs available to cold climate gardeners. Named varieties specifically selected for large berry size and improved flavor are available from specialty nurseries. Ascola, Lycora, and Freisdorfer orange are European varieties with excellent berry size. Indian summer and harvest moon are North American selections with improved flavor profiles. These are available from Raintree Nursery, One Green World, and Cold Climate Gardening specialty suppliers. See Buckthorn, -40 cold hardiness, 8 to 17 times more vitamin C than oranges. Complete vitamin E complex, extraordinary carotenoid concentration, unique omega-7 fatty acid profile, fixes its own nitrogen, stabilizes degraded soil. 1,300 years of documented traditional use across Asia, and almost completely unknown in American gardens, growing in exactly the cold climates where it was born. Drop orange in the comments if the vitamin C comparison is what stopped everything. And if C. Buckthorn is already growing somewhere near you, drop where in the comments. This community is mapping where the most overlooked food plants in America are already thriving. Subscribe to Famine Plant Secrets for extraordinary forgotten plants every single week.